Good morning and welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known, brought to you by the Bell Project. They're helping tens of thousands of folks with cash bail, trying to eliminate the cash bail system, and the March On PAC, a women-led organization that seeks the strongest of the strong when it comes to Democratic candidates, trying to save democracy. They're only going to endorse those who feel like they have a backbone, in other words. so uh, get with the program. And it is Happy Swag Hoodie Day. It's Friday, and we're supposed to be talking about some good stuff. And we will. I got a special guest this morning. Going to talk about a journey, a glow journey, a soft life glow Bible. Yeah, that should be fun. This should be lots of fun to hear about this um, enthusiastic, encouraging, fantastic young Black woman's journey as she tries to encourage the world with her journal, her Glow Bible, A Soft Life. So we'll talk about that this morning with her. She should be joining us uh, at the top of the hour. But let's see. So what is Orangey? He says is he's rocking who? Jackson State University. The I love. I am praying for the children, mother, and father lost to the lives over nothing, in my opinion. He says, um, yeah, and that takes us to where we're going this morning. The tragedy, the terror of Justin Fairfax, and I mean, it was stunning, to say the least, as to when we saw the news, when we heard the news as to what happened. I want to take a look at something this morning, and a couple of things as folks try. When you say you try to put stuff into perspective, something like this, there is no perspective really. But take a look at this.
Based on new court documents I was able to obtain, a judge last month ordered the former lieutenant governor to move out of their home here by the end of the month, as he and his wife were in the middle of heated divorce proceedings. Police believe the latest in their marital situation could have been the spark behind the shooting.
Just amazed, shocked. And because I knew them.
From the outside, neighbor Peter DeMeo knew there was a divorce in the works. But from inside their home, a bitter battle between former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax and his wife Serena was seemingly intensifying.
This has been an ongoing domestic dispute surrounding what seems to be a complicated or messy divorce.
Fairfax County Police say around midnight, Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife in their basement before he went upstairs to turn the gun on himself. The couple's two teen children were inside the home at the time. One of them called 911.
Anything like this is upsetting. And then you think about the children, because their futures are big time changed.
The shootings happened less than a month after a custody hearing. In court documents, Serena says her husband was struggling with alcohol use. The court filings describe him as having completely withdrawn from loved ones, failing to pay bills, and unable to perform day-to-day tasks after he left office in 2022. In his order, the judge said losing his bid for Virginia Attorney General in 2013 and sexual assault allegations against him in 2019 that affected his political aspirations affected Justin. According to court filings, Justin bought a gun using money meant for his children's horseback riding lessons and had to be calmed down when he was found in the park with that gun. Despite mental health concerns and an inability to be a proper caregiver, the judge ordered the couple to have joint legal custody of their kids, allowing him unsupervised visitation.
Former Lieutenant Governor Fairfax was recently served some paperwork associated with an upcoming court proceeding that apparently led to this incident last night.
Serena first filed for divorce last July, citing, quote, no expectation or hope of reconciliation. They had separated roughly a year earlier, but were still living in the same home. Her complaint says there was a post-nuptial agreement, but Justin failed to follow those terms. Neighbors say they didn't see this coming.
The possibility that there may be some marital issues, maybe divorce, that's what, beyond that, nothing.
Fairfax County Police say they did respond to this home before, at least one time in January, when Justin Fairfax claimed that his wife assaulted him. But after reviewing the security videos inside the home, police say they were not able to corroborate his story.
Unreal stuff. It's right there. It's just a lot of questions. Um, the judge, everything is hindsight, of course. We have the my sound went out. It's it's everything. You can Monday morning quarterback it. Um, and as Michelle Madison said, those poor children. And I'll see what Orange he says. He said, "I'm not making excuses, but I really believe after the sexual assault allegations, his life went out of control." Well, and that's really what the judge. This is where I'm going, Orange. That's I think the judge also recognized that finding him with a gun in the park, he instead of taking the money for the horse lessons for his kids, bought a gun. Finding him with the gun in the park, um, and the judge still allowed him to stay in that home, have joint custody. And I know oftentimes these judges are very, very one way, particularly when it comes to the father. The court system seems to be set up against the fathers, particularly black fathers. But it just seems in this case that this judge, you have all this evidence in front of you that Justin Fairfax, regardless of his former position, regardless of his public status, isn't if he's a danger to himself, doesn't that make him a danger to children, to his wife in a divorce proceeding? The judge seems to drop the ball here. It's not to cast the blame on the judge as far as what Justin ultimately did. But this is why, supposedly, presumably, why we have courts and rules and laws. This poor woman and her kids and her family and his family, because the fallout extends, it runs deep. These kids will never be the same again. And these are teenagers. I'm not sure the ages. They'll never be the same. And, mental health and mental illness is a really, really depression. It's a really serious thing. And I still, this is an indication to me that it's still not taken as serious as it needs to be taken. Now, I want to also play this that was shared with me this morning because mm, it's so tragic. I want to make sure this is the yeah. Let's share that right here. Listen to this.
Hey, everybody. I wanted to just hop on and make a short statement because tweeting will never be able to say how I feel. First and foremost, I am heartbroken and devastated for the Fairfax children. I thought the statement put out by DeMatha High School, which is a high school that Justin attended, it's a Catholic high school here in this region, was a good one. That was the Justin we all knew. The guy full of hope and promise and gifts and possibilities for his future. All of that changed in 2019 when Justin was lieutenant governor. The second thing I want to say is Serena Fairfax, anyone who knew her knew she was an amazing woman. Kind, good, a great dentist, faithful to her patients and her community, and faithful and loyal to her husband at the most difficult and dark moment ever for their marriage and for their family when these allegations about Justin came out in 2019 when he was serving as Virginia's lieutenant governor. Serena didn't deserve her ending. Serena did not deserve what Justin did to her. Those of us who talked to Justin as late as Monday or Tuesday of this week, or were in often contact with him, knew that he was depressed, knew that he was in darkness, knew that he was dealing with everything he had lost, feeling that there was no hope. And all of us tried to encourage him to get help, to get back in the arena, to not give in, and to do something good through all of this, something he called the culture of cruelty. He wasn't able to turn that corner. But none of that justifies murdering his wife while their children slept in the home, and leaving his children holding the bag in something that is unthinkable and unimaginable for someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s to handle, much less two teenagers who now don't have parents. I would ask those of you on social media to just stop with the ugliness, the vitriol, the name calling, the judgments, because you don't know this family and you don't know what was going on. What you know is the outcome, and it is tragic and horrible, and something none of us that knew them ever thought was possible. I think if we're honest, some of us thought Justin could hurt himself because he was so depressed and down. Up until Tuesday of this week, one of the last things Justin said to me was, I need somebody to help me to prove my innocence. I can't get my life back until somebody stands up for me. I had done so in a Washington Post piece in 2022, but I had done all I could do. Others should have stepped up. I think there's a bigger conversation for us to have about this, but not right now. I think we have to talk about men in depression. I think we have to talk about domestic violence. I think we have to talk about men in dealing with their emotions and what happens when they don't. I think there's a lot to talk about, but I don't think now is that time. I think the Fairfax children are what we all need to focus on. And they have two really good families in their mother's family and their father's family who will get them through this and who will love them and care about them. And that's what I care about. I'm angry at Justin. I'm in shock. I'm appalled. I don't know what to say. I keep asking, what more could I have done? How did I not see this coming? We're all asking ourselves that. We're never going to get an answer. But I want to be unequivocal to those of you, again, who are really saying unkind, nasty things about those of us who knew Justin and were his friends and who loved him and cared about him and who were trying to get him on the other side of this. There is no excuse for what he did. It is unconscionable, immoral, wicked, vile. Give me words. But none of that's going to bring Serena back, and none of that's going to bring Justin back. I pray for those kids, and I pray for healing for them that's supernatural, because they're going to need it, because this is one of those things that's going to be with them for the rest of their days. They lost two parents in a matter of moments in a horrific way. And I pray that the community cares for them and that all of us will care for them. Lauren Burke, thank you for your faithful service of years as Justin's publicist and as a dear sister and friend. You and I went through a lot together in trying to get this brother back together and get his life together. And I know we've talked and we're both struggling with this. I can't imagine how his family feels. I can't imagine how his fraternity brothers feel. And to Serena's family and to her friends and her community and her employees, my heart hurts for you. She was a wonderful woman. I had the blessing of meeting her. Quiet, gentle, good, a great mom, a good woman. She did not deserve this. It's just horrible. I'm thinking about you and I'm thinking about us all and praying for healing. And I pray that we take something out of this, that we really need to rethink our public discourse and our public life and how we handle politicians and people who run for office or people who are in office. They're people too. And they have wives and they have children, or they have husbands and they have children. We need to think about that. That's all I want to say for now.
I mean, it's wow. And I haven't had the opportunity to speak with Lauren yet. Lauren is, she was a big champion of Justin and his campaign, and really wore the stress that Justin was feeling. Lauren wore it too. She fought for him, and he meant a lot to her. His campaign meant a lot to her, as it did him, and as you see, Sophia Nelson there, and I feel bad for them. Of course, first and foremost, I mean, I didn't know Justin's family, but I certainly feel awful for them. He seemed, every time I've spoken to him, it seems like just the nicest of guys. And not saying, can't say he wasn't until the wheels fell off, right? And the obvious depression set in. His never met his wife or children. And so you just gotta hope that the kids will find some measure of peace as they navigate life without their parents now, and knowing how that happened, being in the house when that happened. Mike V says, for Black men, the stigma of seeking help is shameful, so they cope. Barbershops and other male spaces offer some solace for those in need. And you always hope that when something like this happens, it become lessons on why we need more than just the barbershop. Why we need other than just male spaces that offer that temporary solace. RG says, look how the media treated an accusation of a Black man. His political career was over. And that was Lauren's biggest contention. And that had been Justin's biggest contention. And it is Lauren's. The way the media went after Justin, and without any evidence. And one of the things that Justin Fairfax did that I applauded during that whole Me Too takedown, he did something I said all of those politicians. We seen Eric Swalwell last week had to just give it all up and admit to his wrongs. But the politicians, celebrities in particular, if there is false accusations, you fight every tooth and nail, especially something as deviant as sexual assault. If you are innocent, you call for the investigation. And Justin Fairfax not only called for an investigation, maintained his innocence. Investigate me. He openly invited the FBI and others to investigate it. He said there was no truth to it. And I always applauded him for that. Because these investigators, these seasoned investigators, are going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if there's something to it, they're going to find it. Particularly given that he's a Black man. And he never got the credit for that. and also the Washington Post and others, the New York Times, complicit, complicit, because you run without any facts whatsoever, and you do these hit pieces without any facts whatsoever, and you tearing somebody. You're not even considering that a person anymore. It's an object. It's a subject. You're not even considering that this man has a wife. This man has children. This man is vehemently saying that I didn't do any of that. This is all about the campaign. This is nasty politics. And yet, none of these so-called Pulitzer Prize or great reporters took the moment to say, let me look into this the right way. No, it was all about the sensationalism. It was all about Me Too, grabbing that Me Too story. Just it's just poor uh, journalism. Simple as that. It's poor journalism. Gonna segue. Wanted to do some entertainment stuff today, and that's just the way it is, right? This is the news business. But I am going to segue into something entertainment wise, because there is a new legal fight going on over the control of Prince's estate. It's focused on who gets to make decisions about his music business, ventures, legacy, and it's all a decade. We're 10 years now. It seems like it just went so fast. 10 years since the death of Prince. The dispute centers on longtime advisors L. Londell McMillan and Charles Spicer Jr., who say they were improperly pushed out of leadership roles tied to Prince Legacy LLC, a key entity that controls a significant portion of the estate assets, including rights connected to a major project. Remember, they want to do this Prince movie, and there's been rumors about why they haven't done it. Well, this is really the kiss to the heart of why a Prince film hasn't been done. Roughly half of the estate is controlled through Prince Legacy LLC, while the other half is owned by Primary Wave, which bought out several of Prince's heirs. Both sides have to agree, and because of that, because they have to agree on major decisions involving the catalog, the branding, and ventures that are tied to assets like Paisley Park and Purple Rain, disagreements have escalated into legal action over authority and governance. And for fans, this matters because these disputes have slowed and even stalled major projects tied to Prince's work. Like we said, large scale films. We haven't had that biopic yet. Documentaries, global releases. Again, you remember like the Michael Jackson estate. Like they turn out stuff. They've turned out these global releases, uh, shows. Now the big film that's gonna bust the box office wide open. And because of all of this stuff with Prince, and you remember Prince didn't leave a will, which further complicates all of this. And so all of this has explained why we don't really hear new Prince music. And Prince probably more than any other artist um, has a catalog that never ends. That you haven't begun to hear, and yet they can't get it together. And it's another testament as to why in life you should choose, particularly if you have these type of assets, who should run your business in death. Because you get all of this. Now, he doesn't know what's going on. Prince has no idea what's going on, obviously. But the fact that you have all of this, initially when he died, you had the family um, scrambling, family members that fans had never even heard of, and fans, fans, those those uh, those ones who believe that they have some sort of kinship with the artist, they know the details, and the only family member that they knew was his half sister that the public really knew about, and of course, John L. Nelson, his father, who had passed away. So you leave this behind. Aretha, they did find Aretha Franklin's will, right? She had a little paper stuffed into the couch, right? Like a typical old school black woman. But that's what's going on in the world of your Purple Highness. We're gonna get to our guest in a moment. And speaking of my guest, and Prince, her dad is my guest's dad is like ultimate for me, the ultimate musician. Because when we were in high school, I was in high school with her dad, and he taught me some things on the piano. He taught me to play Purple Rain, which I immediately forgot how to play. I bet he didn't forget. Um, we're gonna stay with music um, right now before we get to our guest because we'll talk about another one of my favorite subjects on the female side, Rihanna. Yep, Rihanna. Fans have gotten on Rihanna about when you gonna do some new music. When you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? When we want some new music. We want a new album. Well, Rihanna's like, hey, here's the deal. Rihanna hasn't given us an album in a decade, but she's still breaking music records. She is now the first female artist in the history of the Recording Industry Association of America to have more than 200 million single certifications. Exactly 200.5 million singles certifications. Rihanna is the third ranking musical artist on the association's all-time digital singles units list behind Drake, who has 277.5 million, and Morgan Wallen, who has 215 million units. Of course, the industry defines one unit as either one permanent digital download or 150 on-demand audio and/or video streams to qualify for certification. Last December, Rihanna also hit another music milestone when Billboard announced that her eighth and most recent studio album, Anti, had spent 500 weeks on the Billboard 200, the first black woman in history to achieve that. So y'all leave Rihanna alone. Let her and ASAP make all the kids they want, live the life they want to live. They living their best life, as y'all say. Because Rihanna is not. Why should I make any music? I mean, she's raking in money. Rihanna sleeps. For every minute she sleeps, she's making more than like many of us make in like a year. So sleep, Rihanna. Do your thing, girl. Have your kids and have your family. And one of the things I love about her and ASAP, but it appears to be anyway, is that they are hands on with their children. No nanny is raising their kids. They're not part time parents. Love that about them. Love to see that. Um, and one other note this morning. Again, you got to be careful. We've been saying this forever. Where you get your news. We always talk about Rolling Stone and their top artists or their rankings or whatever, and we dismiss them, rightfully so. But how about Vogue? And I know many black folks be reading Vogue, but how about Vogue? Vogue did something that was despicable and almost unforgivable. The magazine has people talking for another reason as it finds itself in hot water over a story about black hairstyles. The story, which was intended to show off the best haircuts for people with thick hair, quickly went south when they described a photo of an actress or an actress. We know who that actress is, Tracy Ellis Ross. And here's how they defined her afro. They said defined by hairstylist Tom Smith as a quote rounded haircut with a soft airy silhouette. They called it the cloud bob. They say it plays well with wavy, curly, or coily hair, thick hair that has natural movement and volume. And they gushed about how Tracy had perfectly put together her look, and of course, social media was quick to pick up on it. Like, where in the world did Vogue get the name Cloud Bob, knowing good and doggone well that the actress was rocking an afro? And then the term Cloud Bob, many pointed out, was especially offensive who understand the history of the afro, which was uh, founded really in the late 60s and 70s and is considered a symbol of black pride. Stop messing with these folks. That's what I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna say it. That's why we see so many of y'all looking a lot whiter than what y'all used to look, looking having these doggone implants in your faces and everything else. Black is beautiful. There's no more beautiful woman in the world than a black woman. Good Lord. And when they start to age, when you see a black woman get, and then the silver hair comes in, I mean, they look so graceful. But when you start pumping your lips up with stuff and your face up with stuff and doing all the crazy stuff, start looking like Lil Kim or Latoya Jackson. I mean, come on. You ruin perfection. It's perfection, folks. I'm low back time. Oh gosh. Folks, Tamar Wise is the founder of Her Glow Bible, a guided journaling brand designed to support emotional healing, self-reflection, and personal growth. She's a Florida International University alum with a background in customer service. She brings a people-centered approach to everything she creates, rooted in empathy, understanding, and real-life connection. Her Glow Bible was born from her own experience and the realization that many individuals lack a safe space to process their emotions. And we were talking about emotions earlier, right? So what began as a personal idea has evolved into a purpose-driven brand that helps people release, reflect, and rebuild through structured journaling. There's nothing like writing stuff down. I tell you all the time. And now tomorrow's going to tell us to write stuff down, I'm sure. But through her Glow Bible, she is looking to normalize healing, encourage self expression, and create tools that empower individuals to move forward with clarity and confidence. Welcome to Let It Be Known, More Wise.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning and welcome and congratulations on the Glow Bible, the soft life, huh?
Yes,
We,
soft life.
we hear that expression so much, the soft life. What's your definition of the soft life?
Well, me personally, it's gonna come very funny, very comical, but I was working very hard. I'm known as a very hardworking woman, and I'll say in my early 20s, I not to put the company name out there, but I was working for the post office. And I was a young mother of one son. And, working out here, I was striving. My dream was journalism as a child. And I was like, okay, we got to go to school because my dad was big on school, finish school. So I went and I was like, hospitality. So I did it. When I had gave birth to my son, I was working at a hotel and it wasn't working out. It wasn't paying enough. And I was like, I gotta make ends meet. This ain't working. So I went to the post office and it was hard. It was hard. I dedicated almost 11 years to the post
Mm.
office off and on. And they was like, why you always working so hard? You're beautiful. You young in your 20s, but I'm grateful for it because it helped me, get through all the struggles within life and stuff like that. Being a young mother, I have more children, I'm married. And then I got to the point like really recently where I was like, I'm tired of working hard. I want a softer life. No more combat boots. So within that, soft life to me is pretty much just saying, I don't want to be hard anymore. I want to be softer, more gentle, because I know it's rough around the edges. You outside all day. So to me, literally speaking, it was more of that to me. But I know everyone in this day and age, soft life is really, you shouldn't have to pick up a finger, especially if you have a man. You should be more in your feminine energy. You should be inside being the woman you should be. And that's true indeed. But to me, I was like, I'm that, but then I'm outside. So I was like, I'm gonna be inside. I'm good.
So, you were dealing with some personal stuff when you realized you needed something like her Glow Bible. So, tell us about that a little bit. I mean, we're not trying to get you to
Oh,
tell us anything real personal, but tell us about what really got you going on this project.
well, I would have to say personal, but I'll make it a little quicker than normal. Not to dwell.
Well, my point, Tamara, is not for you to bare your soul to the world.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But it's important because it's part of it. Last year, me and my 2-month-old, we had gotten into an accident,
Mm,
and it took me and her away from the city that we're in. I'm currently in Jacksonville, Florida. So it took us to Gainesville, and we were separated from our family for 2 months, and that's hard. So the accident, we had second and third degree burns, and while we were healing, I was going through it because I was scared. And I was like, I don't know I've never been in this situation and all that. I was hollering and screaming. And the whole staff in the hospital was praying over us. Everybody was crying because, of course, she's 2 months old and I'm burned too. And they gave me a small journal. And they were like, sorry if I'm getting shaky a little bit because woo, we
it's
went through
okay.
it. We got through it. We got through it. But the small journals, they gave me so many because I kept writing through it. And they said, I don't know if this is going to help you or not. They were like, you're handling this a little bit better, but we want you to go outside, go for a walk. And I would do that. I would walk, pretty much walk every day with the job that I had. But I was like, I can't leave her. So they were like, we're going to give you this small journal. And I would write throughout the whole thing in like
Mm,
less than 10 minutes because I had so much on my mind. And most of it was really prayers. I'm praying to God and I'm like, please. So every day I would have another journal, another journal, another journal, and another journal. And then once everything, she got better, we got released, we was able to come back home to our family. I was surprisingly, I actually went back to work. And I was going through the life stresses of trying to get back to normal. And my dad was like, I don't know how you're doing this, but if you're going through so much, you're holding it in. And I was like, but I'm writing, I'm outside. And he was like, I can see it on you. He said, I want you to download the Holy Bible app and just listen to it while you're walking. Listen to it. And I did just that. So when I would come across certain scriptures and stuff like that, I I would save it and I would apply it to what I was journaling in the
mm,
hospital. And then one day it just clicked. So it's like I formed this stuff really for me to piece it together so I can continue to write. But then I was like, why keep it from myself when there's other people out here that's also hurting? So with that
mm.
incident, it just opened me up to everyone else's struggles and what they're going through. So I was like, let me not be selfish and keep it for myself. This is something that I feel everybody else needs as well. So that's
Wow.
why her Glow Bible came about.
That's interesting. And as you wrote stuff down, did you find it like cathartic? Where you really it was
Yes.
helping you that way?
It made me much calmer because I was I know with some I have such a strong demeanor. My voice is like, hey. So it actually calmed me down tremendously, even at home, to where they were like, she's not responding how she used to respond, where it's not like a harsh or a hard element where I'm in. I'm much softer tone where I'm like, hey, let's not do this. Let's not focus on this. Let's bring it back just a bit. And I can actually say spiritually, it's definitely stuck within me. Like I changed for the better for all of that. So
Great. Now you mentioned that you did this too because you didn't feel safe speaking out loud. Why do you believe so many people feel that way or still feel that way about many things?
uh expectations of people, and me personally being able to I'm a talker. And when I express, people take the things that I say, they change it, and they give it
Mhm.
to other people, spread misinformation, and no one likes the feeling of judgment. No one likes higher expectations other than what's been put out. And that will make somebody run and hide and go in silence. So I I don't understand it, but I just know I just wanted to have this as a platform. If someone wants a safe space without feeling judged, they can journal, write,
Yeah.
have questions being given, certain exercises or something that's going to pull it out, so that way, oh, I released it, I can go back to it. Why did I feel like that back then? Like, we can make changes, and it's like it's something like that. So
Okay. It makes hey, I get what you're saying. Now everybody does, and again, folks, it's Her Glow Bible. There's one spot you can pick it up right there. We'll get to even more where you can pick it up in a moment, but you can purchase it online for sure.
yeah.
A lot of folks talk about healing. Um, what does real healing actually look like in your experience?
Change, like, what would you, the things that you used to do, what are you not doing anymore? What, like, it's like you start thinking more, you start reflecting more, you start paying attention to your surroundings, changing your environment, being adaptive, saying, I didn't think about this before, but I'm thinking about it now. Sorry, excuse me. I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, wow, why did this happen? Okay, well, let's make this change. It's healing within, that's healing outside. But when you change what you have on the outside, it can help even within, because even within you're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I saw how that affected me before. Let's not look back. Let's look forward. Like, I don't want to go back there.
Right.
Let's
Mm,
change for the better. Let's set up a different tone, and let's just move forward. That's healing.
And now, some might wonder, Tamara, is this journal for people who are already broken or people who are ready to be honest?
It's for all. I'm going to be honest with you. It's for all. If you feel broken, like, I want to say this as well. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not diagnosing anybody. I just wanted to, when I was broken, I wanted to give something or create something for people who also feel the same way. Now, if you feel like you want to be honest and stuff like that, I mean, there's scriptures that help along with that, that's in the journal, that can help them with that. It's however you're feeling. If you just feel like, I just want to be more in tune with God, or, this scripture, I came across this scripture and it really resonated with me. It's a daily thing, a weekly thing. If you want encouragement, if you feel like you're lacking, where people are not encouraging you enough, there's enough affirmations weekly that will help you, make you feel empowered, and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When someone opens up Her Glow Bible, what's the first truth they're forced to confront?
Well, the first truth, well, it's okay if I have it in front
Yeah,
of me. Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Well, this, I just started writing, and that's when I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. So you might see a little scribbles, but but this one, it's like, this is the her. And when you first come into it, it's like it's two sections. So the first section for women is going to say, "Welcome to the journey of becoming her." So then when you're first coming into this, it's like, okay, I want to be better, or I want enlightenment. That's the first thing they'll see. And so when they first come into the page, they'll have their scripture. This is their glance of the week. So they'll have their scripture, their affirmation, and a question that they can freely answer for themselves. And as you can see, I wrote it. And then every day it's like a weekly thing where it's Monday, Tuesday, goes all the way up until Sunday. And then on Sunday, you have questions reflecting, saying, what drained you today? What happened during the week? Did the scripture resonate with you? Like what happened throughout the week while you answered your first page when you first opened the book? And it goes on for 33 to 34 weeks. It's like an exercise that I created to where they can keep going. It keeps you keep doing it, keeping updated. And then when you get to section 2, sorry, excuse me. When you get to section 2, I'm just proud of it. It's
That's a good start, right? For anybody who put a journal or a book together, you have to be proud of your own work. And I'm glad to hear that.
right. Thank you. And section 2 is the woman I'm becoming. So it's like while you're going through your journey and your process, you're able to go back to it, and it's a good amount of weeks. And then once you get into section 2, it's like a deep reflection of the woman that you are now after you've done it. So you have more questions about what brought you peace, what are you most proud of, what did you learn about yourself. It gets deeper. And then once it gets to the end, it's like a good closure of you writing a letter to yourself, and of course a thank you from me. So I I put a lot of deep deep thought into all of these, and it's not just her. I also have it for men as well. And I also wanted to say, because I know how some men are, where it's like, you're a woman, I'm a man. What would you know? And it's like, I don't. But I want to at least incorporate you and let you know that you're special as well. You're thought of, you're loved. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a daughter. I'm a sister as well, and I was raised around men to at least know they should be loved and appreciated such as well. And they have scriptures as well. It's no different. They
Yeah.
have empowerment, and they can reflect on, especially the deep reflections. It's all male based, and I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on one second.
It's okay. Dr. Nicole says that it's very creative and very generous and thoughtful of you to decide to share it with others. She says, thank you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And this one is very special for the him. It's deep reflection. It actually gives them encouragement throughout the pages on the bottom as well for them to keep going. And I hear a lot of men talk about accountability, how they have pain, anger, they have, their mindset, they're trying to be in tune with themselves. So I also incorporated that identity. It's all in here. It's all just giving encouragement for men, women. And then the last one is a safe space. So with the safe space is for people who had traumas, triggers, just horrible past experiences that they still hold in, that's affecting everybody. Um Outwardly, inwardly, you can't release it. So if you're holding on to it, I have a safe space um to where you can basically tap into your inner child. And when I've talked to people who've had issues with their triggers and traumas, they always resonate back into their past when they was
Mm,
that small little kid. So you can tap into that. You could write thoroughly through it, and then it touches base with you about your emotions. Like, hey, how are you feeling after you just wrote that? Who is someone you can go to if something was to ever happen to you? Who can write it down? Who can you come to?
right.
And I just wanted them to know that, to say you have hope, you have someone who cares. So I did these journals for them. And I was about to say something else, and I just kept talking.
That's okay. So let me ask you this though. What are people telling you after they've used this? What's changing for them?
Well, they're currently I've only had one person, which is my sister. She's a very hardworking woman as well. She's a massage therapist. She does healing within the body. That's how we do it. We talk to each other like this, do healing within the body. And her clients go to her for advice. And we've actually talked about being life coaches, signing up to be life coaches. And
Okay.
people that come to her, they say, "Oh my God," I want to say her name. Her name is Janeri Middleton, and Janeri is so good. Sometimes she needs a space for herself. She gives all her love. She's like, "What about me?" And I said, "Janeri, she writes more than me." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay, you inspired me to do more." She said, "I need more pages." So I was like, "You know what? I'll for you, Nene. I'm gonna get you your own book, and I'll put more pages for you, Nene." And I gave it to her, and she said, "Oh my God." She calls me Mar. So she was like, "Mar, this is helping me so bad." And she was like, "I don't feel pain today. I feel at peace." She said the scriptures are helping. She was like, every time, because we call each other our accountability partners. So when things go wrong and I'm like, she's like, "Nope, no, go back to your journal." And I'll do the same to her. Go back to your journal. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm gonna write. My feelings is hurting." Like we'll do that. We'll do that. And she was just like, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." She was like, I don't want it to end. I want to go back and I just want to do more of it. And she does that. She'll call me and
Mhm.
touch base with me and say, "Hey, I was thinking about this. I read this scripture and this affirmation was really good. And I'm gonna apply it today." And she has daughters. She'll talk them through it. And it's like, it's a family thing. We all like
Yeah.
to touch base on page after page. So
That's awesome. To hear the closeness of sisters too. That's
yeah.
really cool. And I know she's an athlete too. So,
Yeah.
um, what well, let me ask you this. I know we're running out of time. But if someone is watching right now and they're hurting quietly, what's the first thing they should write down?
Write down plain out. It don't matter how, it doesn't have to be structured. I don't care if it's scatterbrain. Write out how you feel. I don't care how long, I don't care how short. I'm feeling like this. This is hurting me. This is painful for me. And then after you write it, pray. After you write it, you pray. And whatever feeling comes to you after you done wrote it down, you prayed on it, reflect on it, think about it. If it makes you continue to keep writing, continue to keep writing. If it makes you go for a walk, go for a walk. If it makes you be in movement, to me, I feel like, not to make it more spiritual, like religiously, because some people may not be in tune like that, and it's okay. But in order for you to become better, you have to seek Him. You have to feel it. You're feeling what you're feeling for a reason. And if you're feeling that and you have to release it, you have to release it in the most positive way as possible. And the best way to get it out, to me, is journaling and writing. And if it's talking it through, you can talk it through. But from my understanding, from what I use, it's nothing wrong with me getting on my knees and praying and say, "This hurt me as well," after I wrote it down. And He comes to me more after I've prayed and wrote. And
It's, go
I
ahead.
apply. Sorry, and I apply it after that. I feel better after that.
All right. And so, just two more quick things before we have to cut out. How can folks get a copy of this?
Well,
Well,
you can go on. Oh my God, I got like three platforms. Okay, so I am on Instagram under my name. You can find me Tamar Wise, And in my bio, I have Shopify. I have I don't know how they can they look it up on the thing? I'm not
Yes, there
sure.
you go. There's your
Shopify.
Instagram
Yes.
profile, and go ahead, you tell them.
Yes. So in my bio is on Shopify. It's also on Etsy as well. You can click the link on my bio, and I'm also on TikTok as well. You can find me on Her Glow Bible on TikTok, and you can also the books are available on the TikTok shop as well. So
There you go. See, that was easy. It was easier than what you thought.
yeah.
Um, and finally, Tamar, when all is said and done, when we brought you on, we were talking about the soft life, what that means to you. What does glow really mean to you?
Glowing to me is like what you have in your heart and your good spirit is showing on the outside. So that's your glow. The positivity that you have within you is showing on the outside. So if you're healing and you're doing much better and you start to notice, you start glowing, you start being happier, you start, a light, you see a light within your face, yourself, it's just all positivity. That's your glow.
That's your glow, and you're glowing. Look at you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you dropping by this morning. And we will also, folks, from this discussion, we'll have a news article about Tamar and her Glow Bible. So we'll be sharing that later today. So you folks can stay tuned and look for that news article as well. So we appreciate you, Tamar, and we know you got a busy day. So we're not gonna hold you hostage. We appreciate it so much, and we appreciate all of you guys. Check out her Glow Bible, Etsy. Go to her profile on Instagram as well. Tamar Wise on Instagram. It's TAMARBBY. Is you can
Yeah.
find her on Instagram, and check it out. You'll be able to pick up your own journal and journal on, folks, and continue to stay safe, stay well, and whatever you do this weekend, do it safely because we want to see you on Monday on Let It Be Known. Thanks for watching, and thanks again, Tamar.
Let's go! Let's go, Flav. Hey!